I don't think you can tell. It's foggy. Give it a few minutes. It's early, it's about nearly 6:15. I've come on a little bit earlier further up the road where we're walking. Hi Stephanie, how are you? It's a good chat really on the fog, the mist, misty fog. It's a bit foggy this morning. Let's let me get across this road in a minute. It's a bit noisy. Bus is going past. The bus that I used to get to work. But I decided to walk and save my money and use it to a thing. So. Morning RW. What are you two doing awake? What time is it over there? Hi Carl. Walking with a purpose, yes I am. Walking fast. Speed walking. So just let me try and get down this road a little bit before I start my chat. I'll just ask you all how you all are first. Oh hi Lulu, I've not seen you for ages. Got to finish all painting off yet, don't worry I will. I've just got to be in the mood to be doing it, in the zone. I was looking at it the other day. It's 12:17. I'm here in Austin, Texas. Oh yeah. It's 10 at night in California now. So you're watching me at this time. Some people might be getting up or can't sleep or whatever, or can't get to sleep. So I'll start the chat when I get over just further down the road because I get off the main road. Oh good. I've been watching on replay. Yeah, I knew you were busy, most people are. You know, I was talking to someone last night on the way home saying about, you know, how people can feel. Things can still bog us down. I think the mundane life, as I like to call it, the human life, and that's not the same as boring, I just mean we have all those things we have to do in this world that do make us feel a bit like that sometimes. You know, we all have family, kids, things that distract us, things that can put us in a mood, you know, other people's energy, that could be family, friends, children, whatever, because, you know, each individual is different and it depends what they're seeing, what they believe and how they are and all that, so, you know. Yeah, Stephanie says, I feel like what is sleep anymore? Most nights I just can't get a good sleep. I used to be like that. I'm better now. But I think I do wear myself out with walking and stuff. But also remember what 17 said, those who know don't sleep. So I always think of that, but I do sleep a lot better than I used to. But you know what? I always think as well, if you're clearing a lot of energy, it'll help you sleep, you know. Especially before you go to bed, that's why you've got to be careful what you're watching, what you're consuming. And I mean yes, food, but I'm not talking on that level, I'm talking on energy level, consuming, you know, what you're watching, the sorts of people you're watching, what you're letting in before you go to sleep. Because that'll all play out at the time. Yeah, we do forget, so, that's why we normally say, come off your devices an hour before you go to bed, do something like that, like reading a book, but be careful if you are reading a book, what you're reading, it goes in the subconscious, so, yeah, I need to stop reading about what's going on before I sleep. Yeah, that's a massive thing, don't do that. It's funny because a couple of people I talk to off here behind the scenes now and again, we say, because we know a lot of the things that are happening behind the scenes, and you can clearly see it playing out in, out there, especially with the media, but they're always reporting on the complete opposite, as we know. Don't look for it anymore, because it's popping up everywhere anyway, from people who are awakened, people who are newly awakened. It's popping up everywhere, and I can see it happening. And I was saying to a friend yesterday, not worried, and this is why I said I'm not in fear. I'm observing because it's great what's going on, but I don't, look for it. When you first see it, you do get a bit manic. That was ages ago, 2 years back now, because we can see a lot of it happening. We always thought it was last year or the year before, especially with 17. You can clearly see it's been building, to this point now. So, peace within and all that. It's okay. But yeah, like I said, you do have to be careful. It's not to not look at that, because that's just being ignorant if you're not looking at it. A lot of people don't want to, because at the end of the day, it means they've got to face themselves like everybody. So, it's not a surprise. But what I will say is, a little chat of what to do when I'm walking to work was, you'll find, you'll probably hear it out there, maybe by people that are open-minded stuff, and maybe on the same sort of stuff you are. But I see a lot of it being chucked around on YouTube. It's always played on my mind, as in, I don't resonate with it. It's just never resonated. There's a whole thing when people say people are NPC players, non-player characters, because you see everything as a computer game or, a hologram, which it could be, but I've never resonated with that word, and I don't take everything in, because I think if I see a lot of people who take everything in, they believe absolutely everything everybody says, they take all of it in, and then they wonder why they're looking and sounding really crazy. I don't mean crazy that we're called, I mean ill. I only take what resonates. The rest I just think, well, if it is, it is, and if it isn't, it isn't. I'm not going to play on it and constantly think about it and, whatever. But it's funny, because I've always thought, if I look at my best friend, she's a lovely soul, and she does have a soul, but she's not really awakened to any of what's been going on. She's had the what, kids have, blah blah blah. But I've never said anything to her. I've dropped little seeds, and that's it. But people would say, you could say, they're non-player characters because they're not seeing what's going on and they don't want to look either. But I've noticed there's people who, and I've noticed this in a lot of people, would say they think it's alright to call people that, which I've just listened to a little podcast of someone talking about it, which triggered it off, and I thought, yeah, I've always not been into that word, because it's separation again. Like, we all know people get worried about people not waking up, but they will in their own divine time, but it doesn't mean they're soulless, or you just haven't seen it yet. But I don't look at my friend, because like I said, and think she's not real, she's part of the illusion, she's a hologram, which to me is sort of saying you don't believe them people are real. This is just my thoughts on it. And I've seen quite a few people say, you know, they'll go and attack people and call people that and think it's okay because they don't see them as real people. So they can attack them and say what they want because they don't think they're real people. I think that's a really divided way to look at things. Let me see if anyone else has those thoughts in it, but it's even like the person saying about, not the person, the son I was listening to this morning, was lovely. They even saying, we know Dolores Cannon used to say that, which I do respect Dolores Cannon, really like her work, but they said unknowingly saying that's division, and we just mean the people who are not yet awakened. But like I said, I see a lot of people throwing that around as if it doesn't give a shit, and the people are calling that they don't give a shit, which again is dividing, splitting. It's a very dense energy to be in because there's a lot of people in very dense energy, dark mucky energy, you know, and you can see it because it'll always be the opposite of someone's doing something but it's only working if it's their way, or, you know, if they've seen something, it's real, but if someone else has seen something, it's fake, and it's like, what is that energy all about? Because when you look into it, it isn't an elevated energy, it's a very dense energy. Yeah, plus disinformation is at an all high time. Oh my god, yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. The disinformation, like, there's people on YouTube obviously, and even people go at the people who've got massive big channels. I mean big channels with thousands. They're not all bad, but I remember ages ago I was talking about somebody who she's quite well known in the spiritual community, and all I'm saying is she's got red hair, and that's it. Because I'm not saying she's a bad person, but when you start doing energy readings on people and you have to look at your computer to do it, to look back in their life, you know, Google it or look on Wikipedia or something to try and find out what they're like. And by the way, she was doing a reading, she's done it on many people, on Biden, and said, you know, he's a lovely guy, this, that and everything. It was like, are you being serious? Do you not look at the videos with the children? I mean, seriously. And then was saying the Pope who's in's really good and this, that and the other, and I'm thinking, what are these people on? But there's thousands that follow him. And the funny thing was, I went off her ages ago because I knew there wasn't something right. Most people I don't watch now is because I don't feel either I've grown from that, you know, and I'm moving on, or there's something I don't resonate with, which is fine. Like I said, doesn't mean the people are bad, just don't resonate with it. And then she said, this was a while back, she was going to do a reading on Trump, but then she didn't want to because she knew she'd lose a lot of viewers because most of them were backing for the other team, which is fair enough, but two sides to every story. So if you're going to do Mr. B, you might as well do Mr. T, which she didn't. And then she did a reading on Kamala Harris and was singing her praises, and I was just like, for real? She wanted to stay in the EU, blah 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 blah, and I was like, do these people, you know, say they know about energy and stuff, praising the Queen and everything, and I'm just like, oh my god, you know. So there are people who put disinformation out because they knew this time was coming on every platform. It's not just up to one platform, like, where are we, what shape place do we live in and all that. It's everywhere because they knew, and they've known for a very long time. And even if maybe some of these people don't, you know, there's a lot of brainwashing that goes on, and that's what we're trying to undo, is the brainwashing, the programming of all time, places and spaces. Some of the big channels are probably three-letter agencies. Yeah, I mean, most of us know a lot of them are, but I'm also saying this is that thing where people get so paranoid that they think everybody out there with a big, a big channel, what we say was a big channel, are of the dark, when they're not. Some people are there looking like they are because it saves them a little bit from getting pulled down, and they'll say things in a certain way. Some people are. Some people say things, they won't talk in certain words and stuff so they don't get pulled down. And vice versa, it's happening everywhere, and you can see it on a really big level now. People wondering, was I wrong about that person, or was that person? I don't really worry about that, because like I said, all will be seen, the who's who and what's what. But it's interesting. But yeah, going back to the one player characters, it's never sat well with me. I don't resonate with it. I just resonate with it as, not resonate with that, but as like, it's just people who you could say haven't woken up yet to the game that's being played out. It doesn't mean they're soulless or, they're not real, and that gives people the right to go and have a go, because there are people like that. I've seen it, I've heard it, and I've seen people, put that down in people's comments in different places, and I just think, that's a bit of a sleepy attitude as well. But also, because it's foggy today, it's foggy this morning, I've also had that feeling with when people say don't go into the light. There's a lot of people who say do, and there's a lot of people who say don't. When you're passing, it's false light. That's never sat with me, because see this, it's foggy, see that light looks like a tunnel. If there wasn't a light at the end of the tunnel, you wouldn't find your way, or a lighthouse, think of, to stop you from crashing on the rocks. It's not saying you'd never get there, but it'd take a lot longer and it'd be a lot harder. I think a lot of people who say that fear the light, because that's what's happening today as well. And a person I was listening to, which made sense to me, said, there's a lot of people who are in the religions, and the ministers and people will tell them, some of them, not even not to go to it, because, if you've not done good things, obviously, you're going to be punished and all that. But I don't think you do get punished. I think you just see what you've done, and then you can come back to, realign yourself and learn from that and put things right. It's like that karma thing. That's how I see it. And in the films like Poltergeist, they've always put, in some films, like Caroline, did she say don't go to the light, or does the light might got it mixed up, but, you have a lot of films out there saying that. To me, that's never resonated. You'd know the light, and I can't really see two lights, but, you'd feel it anyway, but that's where I'm all going back to, the light source, if you get what I'm saying. So there's things that I don't resonate with, and even if it was, it's like I take a lot of things with a pinch of salt, or things I might take in and then fall away. It's not like I have to come on here and tell everybody, but a lot of people take everything in, and that's where the problem comes, and they get so confused. Yeah, the light looks good, exactly. A lot of people are beacons of light at the minute, like little lighthouses. Source wouldn't want you to struggle in the dark, so there will always be a light. It's like a seed at the bottom of the ground. Once it starts burrowing through, it'll always see the light, when it's rising up to the sun. So, yeah. It's more like this person was saying, if you're told that when you see it, you're not going to go towards it. You're going to sort of like avoid it. And that's a bit like spiritual bypassing going on, worldly bypassing going on. If you bypass that, I think that's where souls get trapped in the limbo state of in between worlds. Makes sense to me. In between the physical and the non-physical, sort of floating about there. You could really say in the astrals, and that you've got to be careful of as well. because that's a place where I think a lot of things can lurk, and if you're not protected, you know, attacks come in. You know, because oh shit, I just nearly fell over. I was going to go with my hat on and I can't see. See in the dark, see. I think that was a tree root. Oh my god. I saved myself though. And I got my phone in my hand. Note to self. Be careful when walking with the phone in your hand in the dark in the fog. But I recovered. And that's the thing. What do we do when we fall down? We get back up again. And up and up. So when we're feeling shit, or something's going on, because in this world things do go on, and it's ebb and flow. We have ups and downs. We have days where we feel better than others. We have shit that happens. As I've always said, it's how you respond to it and how you get through it. You know, if you go all in anger about every situation that's not good, then your response is not going to be good. And you know, if that's the way of life for you all the time, people are not going to want to be around you, because your response is, you know, a negative reaction all the time. So this is why I keep saying, those in the light, remember, light's information. Those who are awake to stuff going on can put it aside. We know it's there. We don't get too enthralled in it, but we know there's an uplifting of humanity, and that is what these times are about. You to elevate yourself, you'll elevate others. That's rising, that's ascension, that's what other words do they use? Christ consciousness, whatever, they're all the same. It means elevating your consciousness to know and be aware of what you're doing. And I pulled a card out today of my tarot deck, the Light Seers, and I'll put it on after this on my community page. Community page is on my YouTube channel. If you just swipe across, you'll see community page and you'll see what I post there. Then I'll tell you what that card's for after. Get to work, I can post it from the English Times. So I don't know what you guys think if it's going to work. I don't know what's really put my feet. There's heart cards, you have yeah, they are. I'll have to do some more readings out them because they are very, very beautiful. All my cards are beautiful. You know, people fear tarot cards and cards because, especially churches and places like that, it's people, you know, unawakened. Again, they say they work for the divine, yet divination is from the divine. That's why it's got div in, you know, divine in it. Then the divine knows, and your higher self knows when you pick a card. It already knows, because we do already know the truth. So, you know, the more you work with them, connection. It's funny. I see people scream about them. I see people scream about them and then actually watch them and take every single word in. You know, like I said, a lot of people take a lot of information in, like everything. And they won't let little bits drop, they take everything in. And it's like, if you fill your cup up with too much, you'll be full. And when you fill your cup up with too much, you know, of everything, you haven't got room to let anything else in. So when we talk about new energies coming in, how can you let all the new energy when you're absolutely full to the top, overflowing nearly with stuff? you're not going to be able to let anything in, to be open to anything else. So this is why we talk about releasing and letting go all the time. So I'm taking my hat off and getting really sweaty. So, let's see. So yeah, it's clearing up a little bit now, but yeah. So there is nothing to worry about. Like I say, when you have days that are feeling a bit shitty, you just rest. This is what autumn time's for. You can't go wrong if you go with nature, basically. I got a lot of things in last night. It was brilliant. Little messages from my guides about stuff that I want to put out in the new year. And it'll go along with the card that I'm going to post after, you'll know what I mean. And I've just got to put all this stuff together. And when I sat there last night doing something, and then I had something to use, and I was like, oh my god, that really looks really good. I was like, yes, I'm going to try and put all this stuff together. And I don't want to say what it is, because I've realised over time, don't put all your dreams out and give it out to people, even close people. Keep it under wraps for a while and then release it, because there are people that try to sabotage what you're doing. Not that it really prevails, because it doesn't, but yeah, that's just the thing. So, and it's nice anyway, because it'll be a surprise for some people doing it, and it's going to take me a bit of time anyway to put it together, this little project. And it's, you know, not just for me, it's for others. And I just think autumn time is a good time for anything. Like, you may be thinking on again, redoing, reworking in autumn, winter, because it's a time where we all retreat inside anyway. I mean, we are going within, but I'm talking about stuff that, you know, you're not out so much outside when the weather, well, especially in the UK, the weather gets a bit worse, you know, raining and cold and stuff. You've got time to contemplate, you've got time to reflect. That's what this time's all about as well. You know, you can journal, you can write stuff down on what you're reflecting on. You can start putting, like I said, your goals and dreams for next year, or even ones that maybe you didn't get a chance to do this year because you've been a bit more busy, but making space and time to put a little, you know, time and effort and action behind it, which I've been talking about. Yeah, mine is always, I have so much creative energy, I can flip to one thing to another. There's a little bird over there, I don't know, you probably won't be able to see it. It's just flown off. And as a Piscean, I'm always like, oh, I find it hard to pull together. But I know from past lessons, faffing about with stuff, that's what I need to do. And again, the card that I'll put up in the community post after is saying that as well. So I know that. I know I'm not very good at being organised, but I don't shoot myself in the foot for it. I don't unlove myself because it's like, oh, no, because like I said, we do have friends and family and life going on and work and all that human stuff that we have to do as well. God, there's a power walker over there walking even faster than I do. I've just slowed down actually because I'm alright for time, so yeah, I'm alright for time. I'm sweating now, so let's get the fan on. Let's get the fan on when I get in. I just had a van stop at the lights then. Wouldn't have stopped properly, that shows you how fast they were going. But yeah, you don't unlove yourself for things you didn't get around to doing. You know, you just pick another time to do it again. Whether it's this cycle, the end of this cycle, you've still got time, or whether you put it into the next one. You know? But one thing we don't want to do is be repeating the cycle that we don't want to be in. If it's good, you can take it into the next cycle. If it's something, you know, that's really not making you feel good, then why take it in with you to the next one? And this is why I'm always saying you've got to be careful of your environment, who you're hanging around with, who you invite, you know, into your realm, especially your consciousness. Because if you're hanging around with people, this is just an example, if you're hanging around with people of a lower vibration and, you know, say doom and gloomers, who are just like, there's no creative flow there, there's no like, and by that I don't mean by doing that, I just mean they're not joyful, you know, they're always in the doom and gloom area, you know, all this calling out this, that and the other, don't want to do anything, don't want to experience anything new, so you just want to stay in old cycles of, you know, the trauma that we've all had, and they never want to move from it. It drags you down and it takes you into that dense energy, you know, and that's why a lot of people have moved away or lost friends, not because something specifically massive happened, it's just the frequencies. If you're elevating a lighter frequency, you can't handle being around dense energy. So, and also I said to a friend yesterday, but I always laugh at this because people go on about, you've got to be this way, you've got to be that way, and I've always said, if you're a monk on top of a mountain, I swear to God, I could be zenning my arse off with nobody around me. And that goes for people who don't go out in the world. You know, it's alright, this isn't a time for sitting in and doing nothing. It's more of an action time than ever before, and I don't mean in violence or anything, but like I'm saying, anyone can be on top of a mountain and be at peace with oneself with nobody there, just thinking, God, isn't this a gorgeous view? No one's bugging you, no one's getting in your auric field, nobody's, you know, just imagine putting music on you don't like that's irritating you. Once you come down from that mountain with your zenness, can you hold that frequency in all the shit that's going on? That's a true master. That's a true master. Can you sit with other people that don't think like you and still keep you cool? Even if you are dropping a few seeds. That's how I see it. And a lot of people can't do that because it's like a fear, you know, other people's energy. They can't handle it. That's why everyone wasn't meant to do what some people are doing. And that's not a bad thing. That's just some people can't handle it. I shouldn't say some people. There's loads of people all over the world. We can all be zen with no distractions, you know. But when you come into the world, you know, I've got three men in my house. I'm the only woman there. Can you imagine that? And they're not all awake. Well, certain things, some uncertain things. So it's a bit like you have to learn to say things and stuff in a different way that may penetrate a little bit, but not in an angry way. But, you know, can you be zen-like around people in these times? That's a master. When you control your own emotions, your own thoughts, as I've said, not all your thoughts are yours. Everybody else's is in that soup, the cosmic soup consciousness, cosmic brain, whatever you want to call it, because we're all part of it. And that's why you'll feel a lot of things sometimes and think a lot of things, and you'll feel, why am I thinking that? That's not me, it's not you. So this is why I say rest time and shutting out things sometimes, coming away from devices and shutting off is a good idea to rest and take time out. I've noticed a lot of people doing that. So, you know, yeah, some people just seem to want to still the joy. I let it slide off me now. Yeah, there's loads of people like that, and they're still around. I think that's what I was saying about joy the other day. I've had a lot of people who've tried to do that. I don't mean on platforms, I mean in real life. Platforms is nothing, that's just school playground tactics, keyboard warrior type shit. I'm talking about in your own real life. Here's one of my little friends. Lovely little Polish girl. She's been off 2 days in today. But yeah, you know. So it's going to be zen like around all these people. And you don't let anyone steal your joy, because if you know who you are, you'll just carry on doing it. The only people who do that are people who can't find joy within themselves, or they're not at peace yet. It's not that they ever will. They're not at peace. You know, they would look at people and think, how are they doing that, or how do they feel like that in these times, or where do they get all that energy from, or where do they get all that creativity from, or where do they get all this, or where do they, you know, or it could be anything. It's because they're looking in the wrong direction. They're not looking at self. They're not looking within. They're not working on self. Because they're too busy looking at other people. That's how you don't get things done at all. So, with that, I'm at work with, I think, minutes to spare. I think, yeah, go and get myself a brew before I start. Get my fan on and cool down, because I'm sweating my arse off. And I'll see you soon. Bye.